It looks like Xbox will be further enhancing their backwards compatible catalog in the near future, if a rumor is to be believed. And historically, we actually got a little bit of an update about why Xbox ended up going with Intel versus AMD. Well, not why, but a little bit of a behind the scenes of what happened there. Let's get into this rumor and this look back right now. Thank you for watching. Before I get into the full story, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to know when these videos go live, please and thank you. I really appreciate everybody who has subscribed thus far. So the first one comes from Special Nix, and it was a series of tweets basically implying that the backwards compatibility for Xbox, the library, is not complete, but it could be getting a few more games in the near future. Here's what he tweeted. So he said, "So if you're like me, you've been hoping backwards compatibility program isn't done. Good news, it's not. We should be getting a batch later this year, mix of OG and 360. Continuing on, they said, an update here. It seems some games may have been data mined, but sometimes OG and 360 games are tested for backwards compatibility, but don't make the cut. So I won't list any games as to not set expectations. Just a heads up that there's been activity here, so I'd probably expect something in November." Now, honestly, if one of the announcements were that some beloved titles would be getting backwards compatibility capabilities for the near future, I think that would be great. There's a lot of classic games on the list that haven't been added yet, and Reddit kind of went nuts. I'll get to those in a second about what could this be, what could be added in the near future. And that's really exciting to see. I would love to see the library fleshed out even more than it already is. Continuing in this series of tweets, Nick was asked, do you think it will be possible to have a large drop of OG Xbox and 360 games on November 15th for the 20th year anniversary? He replied, that's what I'd be expecting. I was originally told back in January that a drop would happen later in the year. Having them on the anniversary would make the most sense. I don't think the list will be overly big though. And he estimated it probably around 10 titles. So what titles would be interesting to come back to the Xbox platform? And remember, when they initially launched these, a lot of the games they made available for purchase. So if you preferred them digitally, great, you could buy them digitally. If you have the disc, you could just pop in the disc and play and go via the backwards compatibility method, which, as you know, is how it works currently. And fans started talking about games that currently aren't working that they would love to see. Strangely enough, one of the first ones mentioned was Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. Sure, whatever. I don't know why. That one was like such a weird game, but I guess. But some of the better ones on the list were Project Gotham Racing. Now, if Project Gotham Racing was made available, that would be great. I would love to be able to play that series again. As you know, with, Forza around the corner, I've been playing even a little bit more Forza Horizon 4. So it would be great just to have the opportunity to take a look back at Project Gotham and just remember why we love it so much. Another one mentioned was Fear. And I'm just going off of what Reddit was saying. I'm assuming that none of these are currently backwards compatible. Now, Fear had this, it was a shooter, but it did a lot of really interesting things with how it startled you and scared you during your playthrough of that game. And there was this creepy girl at the time who would randomly appear when you're climbing a ladder, just scare the heck out of you. And it was great, but that was a really, really good title. Max Payne 3 apparently never got added to the list for whatever reason. I think something like Max Payne 3 would be a great entry on this list. I played through 1 and 2, but 3 was the one where Rockstar really started not messing around, but using the better engine for the series. And I believe they ended up using a lot of the stuff that they learned with Max Payne 3 in Grand Theft Auto 5. Max Payne 3 is highly regarded by fans of the series, and I remember it reviewing quite well when it came out too, so I would love Max Payne 3. A very popular one that I constantly see asked about was Jet Set Radio Future. So, of course, Jet Set Radio Future would be very popular. Tenchu Return from the Darkness. This one is such a throwback. I think Tenchu Return from the Darkness was the one where the guy had the red cloak. And there were a whole bunch of these games at the time. And I remember specifically playing this one. No, okay, so it was more of like a stealth game, and you would run along the rooftops. I think I'm probably thinking of Shinobi. I don't remember. But anyway, Tenchu Return from the Darkness. It's not the game I thought it was, so I won't comment on it. Very popular. I've heard about it a lot. Genma Onimusha, the Onimusha series coming back would be great. Fatal Frame 1 and 2 were listed. And sure, those are classic scary games that I think should be preserved if possible. And then Prince of Persia Warrior Within was also mentioned. And with the remake, I would honestly rather just play Prince of Persia Warrior Within as opposed to the Ubisoft remake that was made. The Ubisoft remake just didn't sit right with me for whatever reason. It just seemed, it didn't seem like a proper remake. It just seemed like sort of like a half measure, but like Sands of Time, I think is already on the list. So Warrior Within completing that story would be really, really good for, gamers that have the option to play. Now, separately, there was another Xbox story I wanted to bring up, and it was about Seamus Blackley, who said, as we approach Xbox 20th, I feel a need once again to apologize for the literal last second AMD switch to Intel. So apparently they were going to use AMD for a long time, and then they switched to Intel at the last second. And he continues, he says, it was Andy calling Bill, not me, at Lisa Sue. I begged for mercy. I was standing there on the stage for the announcement with Bill Gates, and there they were right there, front row, looking so sad. I'll never forget it. Oh my God. So they made this announcement that they were going with the other company, and they had invited the company that they were turning down to the event in the front row. That is messed up. So he said they were right there in the front row looking so sad. I'll never forget it. They had helped so much with the prototypes that were literally running the launch announcement demos on AMD hardware. I felt like such an ass. Wow. I can't even imagine going through that. But for him to reveal that like behind the scenes peek, and Blackley's been doing this more and more often. I appreciate him apologizing. That I don't think that's going to cut it though. If you're not bringing somebody on to a major job, why would you have them sit front row for the announcement of them getting fired? Basically, that's messed up on some unprecedented level. In happier Xbox news, wow. Back for Blood apparently is doing quite well. It's has a 79 on PlayStation and a 74 on Xbox. For some reason, there's a 5-point difference. I don't know why, but anyway, the game is looking to be a big hit, and it's on Game Pass. And I was inspired to add this to the story today because I saw a news article talk about how it's saving people money to be able to pay Back for Blood. How about we just get a great game on Game Pass that's available as part of your subscription service? What a great get. I hopped in, I played through the first level recently. I need to play more, but I'm really, really happy to see that Back for Blood it's doing well. People are enjoying it, and kudos to Xbox for getting that one. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. If you like these sort of videos that I do, one a day, shooting for a year. What is it? It's October. We're going to March. So hopefully I can keep up this cadence. I've wavered a little bit, but hopefully this one's back on schedule. So thank you for watching. If you like these videos, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. If you want to become a member, memberships are turned on. Thank you so much to everybody who has become a member. I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you for the next one. Bye for now, everybody.